My name's Warren. I've been with the group for 25 years, and maybe just a bit of history. I joined here having left the automotive industry. I was a young engineer, and I met Hans and Wolfgang Beier, and I realized that our values really met. I needed a place that I could call home, and Beier was certainly that. So as I said, I joined the company 25 years ago, and I came from a family of educators. My mom was a teacher in the early childhood development phase, and she was quite heavily involved in the Department of Education, setting up curriculum, etc., really for the ages 0 to 5. My father was a lecturer at the Technikon, so I had a technical background, and I just found a home in Beier. So 25 years later, we've realized through Hans's vision that bursaries for kids is really important. It gives the opportunity to those who haven't had the privilege that I had of being educated and having a future. One of the benefits of being here at Beier, and one of the things that we've done, I believe, particularly well, is that Hans realized early on that there's no value in educating someone if you don't have a job for them afterwards. You're now providing capacity, but there's nowhere for that capacity to go. And that's been part of the key of our 15-year journey with a school called Stokozile Secondary School in Guadabega. We realized that we needed to do what we could with what we've got where we are. And because we operate in the Pinetown area, it was obviously essential that we chose a community such as Guadabega. Hans has always been passionate about it. He was also passionate about chess. He believed you need to be able to see 5 steps into the future. The only way to stay alive in this modern world of ours is to think 5 steps into the future. So Hans Beier has sponsored chess for many years, and we continue as part of his legacy to sponsor those schools tournaments and the likes. So the Hans Beier bursary program focuses really on school leavers and giving them an education, mainly in the STEM subjects, but your engineering, your sciences, and looking at creating jobs for engineers because we're a manufacturing company. Fortunately, we've been in this program long enough to realize that it needs to be broader than that. It can't only be the STEM subjects. We need to expand beyond just the STEM subjects. So we're now looking at other areas such as the trades. A company such as ours in manufacturing has a real requirement for electricians, for plumbing, believe it or not, the fitting skills, the millwright skills, the electrical skills. So what we're doing now is we're having a look at expanding into the skills programs. On top of that, we've realized that doing only bursaries for matric leavers is too late. You have to start earlier. If you don't educate the kids in English, they struggle to read the papers. If you don't start in the early childhood development years, a child is not exposed to a manufacturing environment. And if you don't start early enough, you don't create the interest in the sciences, in the maths, and in those broader range of subjects. So as we were saying, we've sponsored more than 103 students over the last few years since 2015. We're looking at a number of about 30 million. But on top of that, we're now expanding the program. We're going into the early childhood development. We're giving those kids who don't get exposed to manufacturing and the likes through their school years an opportunity to come and visit sites as well. Being fortunate enough to have studied through TWIMS, we can see the value now of offering that bursary program, for example, to our executive staff. We've had 7 members who've studied the MBA, and they've gone on now to assist us with setting up small and medium manufacturers. As an idea, we've got 7 SMEs that are of a particular focus to the Beier Group, and we spend 226 million rand a year on qualifying small enterprises. This is a passion of ours. It goes beyond just education. You need to expand it to job creation. We've partnered with TWIMS in the program as well, and we're now expanding this through the automotive to sugar and hopefully into other manufacturing type businesses. An interesting fact about Beier that not many people know is that in the late 1920s, when nationalism started to spread through Germany and Hitler came to power, there was an incident known as the Beier Putsch in 1929. It was a failed attempt at taking over government. At that stage, a young pioneer by the name of O.T.H. Beier decided to leave Germany and with some knowledge of wool set up a trading firm here in South Durban. He went on to build what was known as O.T.H. Beier and has now become the Beier Group. We're now 4th generation of Beiers now. However, it's been a journey of transformation. So the young pioneering spirit of O.T.H. lives on in the business. And we're fortunate enough to have 3 other shareholders in the business: Mark Mazier, Paulus Nkobo, and Senzo Masengemu. And so, as a transformed manufacturing business based in Durban, we're passionate about keeping it in Durban, and we're passionate about keeping it local. As mentioned earlier, we truly believe that manufacturing has a multiplier effect. Our values or our vision is to help protect and improve the quality of life, and we do that every day. We supply safety shoes, we supply PVC to protect food in transit, we provide filter bags that go into the Eskom power plants to filter the dirty coal gas, and we supply medical devices. In particular, Drawtex goes into a lot of our hospitals, both state and private, and it helps protect wounds. One of the gaps that we've noticed is that kids growing up and going through school have no idea of what's involved in a factory. And our aim is to make manufacturing sexy again. This is why we've partnered with TWIMS, who focus on a manufacturing MBA. We really do believe in manufacturing as a multiplier, as I mentioned, and also getting the exposure to kids coming through the plant, seeing what it is that we do, and really trying to get the appeal for those kids who believe in it to come and join us later. So an interesting little anecdote, and I can tell you the heart of Beier. When I joined here in 1998, my history as being obviously a Sachs is that we come from Lithuania, on my father's side. And so I have part Jewish, part Methodist Protestant in my blood. And Hans Beier, being of German descent, said, "So, being a Jew, what is it that you're going to do here?" And at first I was quite intimidated about it, but I realized here's a man who doesn't care about your background, doesn't care about where you've come from. His passion is about building community. His passion is about sustainability. We're a 94-year-old business, and that doesn't happen without pain and suffering. The business during the Second World War went through some really interesting change, where the government effectively annexed the business because wool was a strategic commodity. It was used in garments during the war. Having realized that the government was unable to run this business, later it was given back to Beier. So there have been enough challenges in our past. Another really interesting thing which I have a passion for personally is women in manufacturing and women in industry in particular. What I love about being in a family-owned business is that Hans Beier's legacy lives on, and he was all about employ the best person for the job. Having studied through TWIMS, there's also a significant passion about transformation, and transformation is not only along racial lines. We have gender issues such as glass ceilings that we in particular are trying to break. And I'd appeal to any of the kids out there, especially the girl child, have a look at manufacturing. It's not a dirty industry. And as Beier, we're passionate about transforming. We're now into our fourth generation of Beier, and with them comes the passion for seeing the community change and the community develop. And so we continue to employ. An interesting anecdote is that during the COVID years, the instruction from the board was we will use retrenchment as an absolute last resort. And that's been the vision of Beier, that's been the heart of Beier, and that's why 25 years later I still work for a truly family-owned business.